Hello students! The purpose of this video is to get you comfortable writing equations of two lines that are parallel to one another and two lines that are perpendicular to one another. The expectation is that prior to writing this, or before you are watching this video, that you feel comfortable writing a linear equation already and are comfortable knowing the parts of a linear equation, such as your slope and y-intercept. So parallel lines are just simply lines that never intersect with one another. So the cool thing we know about their slopes is that they are equal to one another. So the slope of the first line is going to be the same slope as the second line. The reason for that, and these are not perfect parallel lines here, but the idea is that the rate of change between your line 1 is exactly the same as 2. So as one line increases and moves over, the other line is increasing and moving over that same value. And so they're never going to touch, because as one rises, so does the other, and they both run at the same rate as well. When you talk about perpendicular lines, these are lines that do intersect with one another. So there's also a relationship between our slopes. Whatever the value is of our first line, the second one is going to be the opposite sign. So opposite sign, and then the reciprocal. So just to give you an example, if the slope of line 1 is 3, the slope of line 2 would mean to be the opposite sign, so therefore negative, and the reciprocal of 3 is 1 over 3. So I want to give you some more examples. Let's say that we had a slope of 6 and I want a parallel line. I can literally come up with any equation that I want. My intercept value can be anything that I want. We all could have different answers. You're just concentrated on your slope. As long as the slope values are the same, then you are good to go. Same thing with perpendicular lines, except you need to follow the opposite sign reciprocal rule. So if I were to give you negative 10 as my slope and tell you that I want you to create a line that is perpendicular to this, you would be concentrated on your slope value, which in this case would need to be positive 1 over 10x, and your intercept could be literally any value. And again, because this was negative, notice my new slope is positive, and the value was 10, and its reciprocal is 1 over 10. But more than likely, in these type of examples, I'm going to be a little more descriptive in what I'm looking for. So for example, maybe I'm going to say that your slope is 2 and that you have a coordinate point 1, 3. And I want you to find a parallel line that shares this slope and goes through this coordinate 1, 3. So this is essentially like I talked about situation number 2 in my linear equation video, where I can write my equation of a linear line, y equals mx plus b. I can plug in my slope value, and then I know that this is a coordinate representing an x and a y value, and I can now solve for my b. And using this information, I can then write my equation, y is equal to 2x plus 1. So this is a more exact line rather than, just coming up with anything as you did up here where I'm underlining. This is more specific and meets the conditions of being parallel and going through that point 1, 3. And if I asked for a perpendicular line, you would do exactly the same thing. The difference is that you would need to show the difference in your slope. So I'd have my y equals mx plus b, and my slope would need to be the opposite sign and the reciprocal, so that'd be negative 1/2. But maybe I want to go through the point 1, 3 as well. And I can go and solve this. And that would be 7/2 is equal to b. And then I could use that information to write an equation. Y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 7/2. And again, that is a more exact solution to this particular problem. I hope that this video was helpful to you. As always, if you have questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out and ask. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.